Welcome to Overwatch, a 2016 team-based multiplayer first-person shooter developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment. Described as a hero shooter, Overwatch assigns players into 2 teams of 6, with each player selecting from a large roster of characters known as heroes with unique abilities. Why, you ask? I'm making a video on a 5-year-old, in quotation marks, dead game? Well, that's because Overwatch was honestly the very first game that hit different. It was the game that really led me into the competitive side of video games. Back when I was still on my Xbox, Overwatch was the first game that I played, unlike the CODs and Battlefields being very arcadey, and that's about it. Compared to a ranking system based on the matches you play. Overwatch was a unique experience I've never felt before, and it really led me to loving Rainbow Six Siege, CSGO, and as of recent, I started playing League of Legends, even though it has a bad rap for its player base. Now you might ask, if you love the game so much, why do you call it dead? Well, to simply put it, it is. Like many great giants, their only weakness was themselves, and that was the same with Overwatch and its dev team ruining the game's unique playstyle. Papa Jeff, sadly no longer leading the development of the upcoming sequel Overwatch 2, decided maybe instead of reworking the broken heroes, I'm talking about Bridget here, or Brigitte, or whoever that Goats comp use. Goats was a meta-breaking 3-tank, 3-support team composition, but honestly it was more like a 4-tank, 2-support, as Bridget was basically a tank with passive healing, honestly. The composition consisted of D.Va, Zarya, Reinhardt, Moira, Lucio, and Bridget, used by the North American Contenders League Overwatch team, GOATs, and this team composition led them to great success, honestly. We should introduce Rolock and ruin all of the fun and squash the meta. Well, I mean, dive still works, but 2-2-2 still sucks. After playing a few matches, I forgot that when I used to actually play the game in 2018, there was no role lock, and that technically you could run whatever amount of roles you wanted. But those were the old days. The game now just feels so different, and now with the change of separate ranks for each role in comp, you have to sit in long-ass queues for flex and or any roles except for DPS to then go into a match with 2 shitter DPSs that, quite frankly, don't do enough damage to win a single team fight. Now, I'm not saying that all DPS is bad, but with the overwhelming amount of players that queue for DPS, I mean, come on now. The possibilities of actually getting an average DPS player is rare, and not getting like a Genji main that never hasn't even gotten the cute yet. I mean, come on. I used to main Zenyatta, then McCree, but then I had to start maining tanks, specifically Rhine and D.Va, when I started playing comp. But then I slowly started to be able to play all tanks, honestly. Both main tank and off tank, except for Hamster, because I honestly just don't like him. He's kind of just too low DPS for me, and I just don't like his playstyle. But to be honest, I could fit in any shoes, and I can flex for any role. Come on. But back to the point. This was the one single blow that took down all of Overwatch. Well, I'm being dramatic here. According to Blizzard, they still get 10 million players monthly, but that's nothing compared to the 50 million back in 2018. But I digress. This game killed itself, just as like Fortnite did, pandering to bad players, removing skill and balanced weapons for RNG and look and click, but the looking is more like anywhere. You could cite CSGO with actually the lack of development, and whatever they tried was way too late, as with now all the normie Andes saying that Valorant is better than CS. Now I'm not gonna say my opinion, but CS is definitely better than Valorant. But honestly, I don't care what game you like or are into, just don't ruther other people's passions for other games that you don't share the same love for, because you know, don't diss what other people's like, you know, just be a good guy, honestly. And while on the opposite spectrum, you could cite Rainbow Six Siege, having too much development, making many changes and reworks that ruined the original gameplay of Rainbow Six Siege, as with its prime first few years after release. Snooey opinion time. Overwatch 2. With Big Papa Jeff Kaplan leaving, I don't know how to feel about Overwatch 2 or where it's headed. From what they've announced, Overwatch 2 is going to be more PvE centric, where they're going to head in development. It's going to be kind of like a story mode, compiling of missions, kind of like the Junkenstein's Revenge event during Halloween, or the Omnic Crisis events during Anniversary. But I honestly think that's the only thing people are still hyped about in Overwatch 2. From the recent announcement from BlizzCon online, and how Overwatch is going to be now 5v5 instead of 6v6, and how they announced it, it sounds like Rollock will still be a thing in Overwatch 2, as they stated it's going to be 1 tank, 2 DPS, and 2 support instead of just 5-man teams. I think that the competitive side of Overwatch is gonna be lacking, or might just flop right at the start. I mean, once Rollock kicked in, Overwatch League was a collateral to Overwatch's player number and to Owl's viewers. But that's only my opinion. Don't get all mad at me. I mean, it's just my opinion. I'm just a nobody on the internet. Come on now. But I am willing to hear from any other perspectives. So, yeah. You know, I have quite some time on Overwatch. My Xbox account is level 419, and my PC level is 134. While I've only played PC for like I'd say like about a month or so. On Xbox, I have Rhine and Zenyatta Golden Gun. So I run the Gridiron skin on Rhine, so the trophy thing. So it's gold, and I run Nutcracker on Zen, so I throw golden nuts at people. This is editor me, and I forgot to record an outro. So what did you guys think? Leave a like or a comment, maybe even subscribe, maybe, you know. Really, I'd really appreciate that. What do you think about Overwatch? Nah, you know, don't show any hate. It's just my opinion, and how I think Overwatch will go. You know, it's good to criticize something that you love, because then it'll become a better version of itself. Just like Asmongold said, a great streamer, with the love for WoW. WoW should have competition and a good competition, so that not only it wants to better itself to beat the competition, but so it's better for the people, the players, the people that actually love WoW. And yeah. See you guys whenever I decide to make another video. Wee! Post note. If you think about it, Overwatch content in general, except for Overwatch League, has been lacking. Like, for instance, that Punch Kid, Andrew JRT, you know. Majority of the Overwatch content on YouTube as of right now has been just patch note updates and stuff. There's no content, even on Twitch, such as the mighty XQC. You know, he hasn't played Overwatch for a few years now, maybe once or twice with a few friends, but he's, you know, majority right now still variety. Well, actually, still G-Tarp, but like Seagull, I mean, even some Overwatch pros and Owl left for other games such as Valorant, Apex Legends, you know. It's sad. It truly is sad. I mean, you know, there's still a lot of people, but the love for the game, the content creation for the game, is just not there anymore. Truly sad.